All right, our producer Keity here is all sketched out around her dad. What's going on?
So my father and I, we have like this weird, complicated history because he hasn't always been in my life. In the last 10 years, we've actually started building a relationship. And so because...
Was that instigated by you or by him?
Me?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah?
yeah, because I found him on social media I found my brother on social media because I wanted to know everything about my father. And so when I found him on social media, then it led to a relationship of, oh my gosh, and all this good fun stuff.
Okay, so let me pry
You're
for
not
just
selling
one.
that.
That's so fun.
Love you mean it.
All right, so let me pry for just 1 second. You're born and then Pops bails?
I was born.
Uh-huh.
Pop was around until I was 5. However, my mother and my father didn't see eye to eye on parenting styles. And so therefore, she made it hard for him to be in my life.
Okay.
And I grew up without him in my life. And so as I got older, I wanted to know more. Like, I want to know about my dad, this and the third. And then she's like, all right, finally, you're at the age. I'll try to help you find him because I don't know how to find him. And I was like, well, we got to find this man. And then hence social media. I knew I had an older brother, knew his name, looked him up, was like, hey, I think I'm your sister. He's like, girl, you are.
So I'm curious about this as you're telling the story. So your mom's version is that, you know what, you got to give your dad a break. I made it really, really hard for him. Or that was your dad's version of everything that
No,
went
that
on?
was my mom's version.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So then that's when my dad was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I've been trying to look for you, but it was hard. She made it difficult. I was like, I know. So
That's what she said.
she told me that.
Kept it real.
So then from there, we try to build a relationship. And
this was how long ago?
that was about 13 years ago. Yeah, about 13 years ago. But it's weird. It's awkward. This is a parent that I didn't grow up with. We're trying to establish a connection and bond. However, I was already at the age of past being raised, I guess, in a sense. So it's like, I'm this person. And the first time we met, he was like, oh my gosh, do you like to do all these girly things and all this other stuff? Because he's thinking, only daughter, let's go out and do this. And I'm like, actually, that's not what I'm into.
Let's go get some American Girl dolls. Dad, I'm past that. What was your final tipping point making the decision to want to find out who he is and start a relationship with him?
For me, it was the curiosity. Like, I missed that. I wanted that male figure in my life. That's what I desired. I was like, I want to have a dad too. Like everybody else has
I remember that feeling.
this bond and this relationship with their parents. And I just have my mom like, well, where's my dad? And then I knew I had a brother. I was like, I had always wanted siblings. I grew up as an only child. So I was like, I want that life that I see, that wholesome, happy family bond and connection that people have. But now every time I see my father, I get nervous. Like, we'll see each other probably maybe once a year. And I'm supposed to be seeing him in a couple of weeks. And I get nervous just to be around him because I have this idea of the daughter that he wants and what he had hoped I would be. And in my head, the reality of it is I'm completely different than what, he may assume. And I still haven't even told him about my sexuality because I just feel nervous around him. Like, I can't truly be myself around him. And it's hard because I don't know what to do about it.
Now, are you putting undue pressure on yourself, or has he in the past when you hung out with him, that's how he has handled the relationship?
Very opinionated, very...
He's a very judgmental guy.
Okay.
In a way, he's judgmental, yet he's still open. It's just weird. I just know, like, when I'm around him, he's the type of person that when we people watch, he's judging someone because they have blue hair. It's little things that are like that makes me think, I just can't be myself around him because I see the toxic masculinity in him.
Okay.
And so that part is hard for me just to be like, oh, hey, I'm not into all these things that you think or that you hope. Like, for example, he sent me a gift of jewelry. Like, he's like, oh my gosh, this is the cutest necklace. I thought you would love it, blah, blah, blah. I'm not a big jewelry person. I'm like, actually, I prefer sneakers, Dad.
Give me those J's.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm no psychologist, but it makes total sense that you're afraid that if he doesn't accept you, that he's going to go away again, and you're going to have that void. But look, at the end of the day, all you got is yourself, man. I mean, he's got to either accept you or not.
And I feel like there's a learning curve there, too, because both of you haven't been in each other's life. So I feel like you owe it to yourself to be yourself in front of him so he gets to know the real Keity. And I'm biased because I love you. I love the real Keity.
Thank you.
And I would hope that he would too, but I can understand the fear of this man, was absent from my life for so long, and I'm trying to protect this relationship, so I'm going to give him what I think he wants in order to preserve it. But I think at the end of the day, you're just kind of doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I remember having very similar feelings with my father when we first reconnected because I was in my younger 20s and it was like we were just starting to try to build a genuine father-son relationship, and he didn't know me. That was just the way it was. It was a learning curve, and it took a few years for us to even get close to what that kind of father-son connection is supposed to feel like, and even now, it's a work in progress. So you just got to be patient with yourself, but I would 100% just be who you are, because to me, I felt like I more have to accept him than he has to accept me because he's the father. So I feel like don't even worry about it and just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
There's a chance that he feels the same way you do. Like he's making all those like comments about people and people watching, and he's wanting you to join in. And eventually you're going to be like, this is part, I got blue hair, Dad. And you'll be like, oh, crap. Where did that come from? But he wants to be accepted by you. It's like when people are like, oh, the bear is more scared of you than you are the bear. And yeah, I think he like has the same feelings.
Could be.
Make it a game the next time you guys hang out. Do like a round of this or that.
Okay.
Just like you're trying to learn. I mean, you're
Yeah.
What's
like,
this or that?
Trying to scare him off.
like beach or mountains.
Oh.
Like, just come up with a long list.
fun.
Yeah. Just try, what are you looking at me like that for?
I just can never imagine myself sitting down with my dad going, hey, you know what we're going to do today,
This
Bob?
or that.
Listen, you're going to learn who I am.
The Bert Show.